mouth be acceptable to God. Please do take a seat. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest, says Jesus in our Gospel this morning. Today is Sea Sunday, a day when we remember the work of the Mission to Seafarers, an Anglican charity looking after the welfare of those who work at sea. In doing the research for this sermon, I've learnt that many who work at sea are weary and are carrying heavy burdens. It's estimated that there are nearly 1.9 million people working out there on the oceans, transporting vital goods all around the world. 90% of our trade is carried out at sea, so we are utterly dependent on the labour of seafarers, especially here in the UK as an island nation. And seafarers are very much part of our life here at the Good Shepherd Church, close as we are to shore and port, with those big ships sailing past our coastline every day. Life on the ocean might be a positive career choice for some, providing opportunities to see the world and to work in a job where you know you are making a difference. But for others, it is brutal and it is tough. The sea can be a lawless place. The inequalities and injustices that exist in society can be even worse at sea. The context of seafaring is complicated. In today's global market, you might have a Greek-owned vessel that's registered in Malta with officers from India and then a mixed crew from Thailand, Indonesia and the Philippines. And all of this is enmeshed in the complexities of international laws, with the result that there can be a human rights vacuum at sea. Amongst seafarers, there are problems with modern slavery, poor working conditions and pay, long hours, mental health issues that comes also from the isolation of working away from home for very long periods of time. The sea seems to be a wilderness where the ugliness of social inequality gets magnified. There were 2 sea tragedies last month that also revealed to us the ugliness of social inequality. 2 vessels were lost just days apart. In one, the Titanic submarine, 5 wealthy people were tragically killed whilst taking an adventure trip to view the wreck of the Titanic. In another, a refugee boat off the coast of Greece, about 500 desperate and economically poor refugees, men, women and children, were lost at sea. The shocking disparity in the scale of the efforts to rescue those in danger and the global media response to both stories has stirred debate about the different values placed on human lives. Some lives seem to be more valued than others. As Christians, we are called to stand in solidarity with those who are treated unjustly and with those who are oppressed. In God's kingdom, no one can be left behind and forgotten because we are all intimately connected. We belong to one human family, and in the eyes of God, we are all of equal worth. If we are to find the rest for our souls, which Jesus promises today in our gospel, it will require collective action. Because there can be no peace and rest without justice for all. Solidarity with those who are suffering is a pillar of the Christian tradition. God gave us the greatest example of solidarity when he sent his Son to live amongst us. And on the cross we witness Jesus giving himself in solidarity with the pain of the world. His life and his teachings, Jesus came to overturn unjust systems, and he calls us to do the same. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, he says in our gospel today. But what do we do? What do we do when we stand in solidarity? What does that mean? I'm going to quote now Pope Francis to you because in Catholic social tradition teaching, there is a very strong emphasis on Christian solidarity. And as Anglicans, we can have much to learn from it. So this is what Pope Francis says. He says, solidarity means much more than engaging in sporadic acts of generosity. It means thinking and acting in terms of community. It means that the lives of all are prior to the appropriation of goods by a few. It also means combating the structural causes of poverty, inequality, the lack of work, land and housing, the denial of social and labour rights. It means confronting the destructive effects of the empire of money. I'll say that one again. It means confronting the destructive effects of the empire of money. So, we have a chance to act in solidarity today with seafarers all over the world through the work of the mission to seafarers. And each year we do this. Every July we stand in solidarity with those who work at sea through our Sea Sunday services. We can give a donation, our collection will be going to the Mission for Seafarers, and we can also pray for the Mission to Seafarers and their chaplains who work in 50 countries and 200 ports, providing practical and emotional help and support and advocacy where it's needed to everyone, no matter their nationality, their religion, their wealth status. We act in solidarity today with seafarers because in God's kingdom we know that we are all in the same boat. Amen.